The ISA violates these guarantees that were placed in the Constitution by the Reid Commission, the Constitution that the British left us, a written Constitution which Britain left us. And ironically speaking, Britain itself does not have a written Constitution. It has laws, but it doesn't have a written Constitution. But it gave us a Constitution, gave Malaya a Constitution. Tun Razak's reply to Srinivasakam: the ISA is a specific law that is required to combat communist terrorism. We have 500 over communist terrorists, CTs, operating in the Pahang jungles, and another 200 over communists operating along the Malaysian-Thai border. Total, roughly 800 communist terrorists. Now, the ISA is a law specifically to combat the insurgency and to solve the communist terrorist problem. Now, with that assurance given by Tun Razak, even the opposition, which was led by Srinivasakam, supported the ISA. And the ISA was made into law in 1960 with the support of the opposition, with the guarantee given by the then Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister, who later became our Prime Minister. The communist emergency has ended. In 1989, a peace treaty was signed between the Communist Party of Malaya and the Malaysian government in Hat Yai, Thailand. The Communist Party no longer exists. The emergency no longer exists. Emergency situation no longer exists. But Malaysia, until today, is still officially under a state of emergency. Emergency that was declared has never been lifted, has never been undeclared. So because the ISA was an emergency law, and because an emergency existed then, and still exists until today officially, the government can still use an emergency law like the ISA, which violates the Constitution, goes against what the Constitution stands for. When I was detained under the ISA in 2001, my wife filed a writ of habeas corpus. The judge at that time was the infamous and now late Augustine Paul. He died a couple of months ago. Augustine Paul declared my detention legal, and that it was justified for the government to detain me. My wife then appealed at the federal court, and I had 5 judges. One of them was Wan Adnan, who died halfway through my trial. And they asked me whether, since we've only got 4 judges left, whether I want to ask for a new trial with an additional judge. I said, no, we've come so far. It's already more than a year, and it's going to take another 1 year. Might as well we just finish what we started. So the remaining 4 judges ruled that my ISA detention is unconstitutional. It violates the Constitution. And I was freed, technically, because I was already freed earlier, because this appeal took so long that the judge declared my, or the court declared my detention illegal and decided to free me after I was already free. But we did not withdraw the appeal because I wanted it on record that the court declared my detention illegal and unconstitutional. And one of the factors in the judge's written judgment, the judge said that the ISA has outlived its usefulness. Now that's what the judge said, or what the federal court said. The ISA has outlived its usefulness. It was a very specific law to combat communist terrorism. Communist terrorism no longer exists, the emergency no longer exists, therefore the law should no longer exist. And with that, I was technically freed from detention. The lawyer who represented me, or who led the team that represented me, was Raja Aziz Adrus, a very famous constitutional lawyer and one-time head of the Malaysian Bar Council. Subsequently, I was detained a second time in 2008. Again, my wife filed a writ of habeas corpus, and my case was supposed to be heard, I think it was on the 20th of September or something like that. And